What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Twisted Life TV with Poetry. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of Roswell, Season 1, Episode 5. Damn, what the hell was it called? Don't Speak. It was called Don't Speak. Oh my goodness. Roswell, New Mexico. Let me get that right. Roswell, New Mexico. Don't Speak. And we start off with Isabel waking up in the middle of the damn desert. Like, why is she there in the middle of the damn desert, waking up, frightened of her own shadow? Okay, she scurries away from the area and just walks off into the wilderness. And when she walk off, we see that she's walking across the symbol for their planet, if I remember that correctly. Well, back at Michael's trailer, him and Max are debating whether or not Michael should really turn himself in. Like, it's going to expose everybody if they do this. And I'm thinking, he said, if you tell Liz, it's going to expose us all. Liz already know about all three of y'all. So, okay, but she's going to want justice. So, of course, that's going to expose everybody. She already think you killed him. She already think you killed Rotha. And she ain't exposed everybody yet. So, how did you come up with that? It's, I guess because you hate Michael, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, Noah, he shows up with some mocha lattes or whatever for breakfast, some coffee, some donuts. And he like, where my wife at? She didn't come home last night. And they like, she ain't here. Oh, wait a minute. She slept here last night, but I don't know where she is right now. She had goat yoga or something like that. Something weird, crazy. And Noah seems to walk off without any argument. I was like, he can't be that green. He cannot be that green, right? Well, Liz stopped by Kyle's. She all dressed up. She ready to interview for the research position at the hospital. And he has a box of artifacts that his mother gave him from the father. All the stuff that she thought was, I guess, ill memories, contain sore memories of their marriage or their time together. So she gave him that box. It is so crazy to me that all these people are keeping all of these old ass things, items of people that's dead. And these are the bad things that she didn't like about Kyle's dad. So why the fuck was the mama still holding on to this shit? That didn't make sense to me. I told y'all, when I stopped liking a show, or when I started then I started finding everything to talk about that's nitpicking to me, that really gets on my nerves. I'm like, I couldn't understand. I think his name was Federico. I think I said his name wrong last week. Why he was holding on to Rosa's backpack after 10 weeks. And this week, why Kyle's goddamn mama holding on to this box of shit from her dead husband, who she said this was the stuff that was the sore spot in their marriage. Makes no sense why she's still holding on to this shit. It's all packed and nice and neat. What was she gonna do with it? What were you gonna do with that stuff, lady? I don't know. Well, like I said, she had no problem giving it to Kyle, and Kyle going through the box, he finds a key chain in there, and we notice it has the star and the moon, or the sun and the moon on the chain. He stuffs it in his pockets real quick. This happens right when Liz walks in, and like I said, he tells her about the box, and they still assuming that maybe he really did have an affair with Rosa, because also inside the box was a drawing of a rose that Rosa drew. I'm still kind of thrown off by Rosa's age. I mentioned it in the comment section last time. They keep saying that she was a teenage junkie or what have you, and they're assuming that she had an affair with the sheriff, which I know I was not down for this storyline at all. But she always hung out in the fucking bar with Maria. Like, maybe I'm just too motherfucking straight and narrow, but I find it strange that fucking teenagers will be hanging out in the damn bar. Am I the only one that thinks that way? We not in the UK. We not in the Caribbean where the legal drinking age is 18. Mexico, I think it's 18 as well. But not New Mexico. Especially not in the 1989, 1990s. Come on now. Okay, so Kyle, like I said, he tucked the key in his pocket and he cut their meeting real short. You know, he said he got to take off. So after he left, of course, Liz, they look so much damn alike. Liz went through the damn box and she found a tape recorder. And the tape recorder had 911 calls on it. It seemed like prank calls until she got to the one that sounded familiar, had a familiar voice on it. And it was talking about these 3 bodies floating in the air. I assumed and I was wrong. But I assumed that this was a recording about the day that Max, Isabel, and Michael, came around. They was floating around in the desert, in the woods, or what have you. But that didn't happen. I remember that didn't happen. No, this was the night that Rosa died. And remember, 2 girls had died with her. So like I said, since she knew the voice, she went to go find the person on there. So she goes over to the radio broadcast dude, the one with the podcast, the Alien Conspiracy podcast. His name, I didn't find out till later. His name was Greg. I thought they kept saying Grant, but they said it was Greg. And she's questioning him, like, look, tell me about what you know about my sister's death, about the day that happened, what happened out there in that desert. Why is everybody so fucking aggressive on her? You can't just ask them, hey, could you possibly give me some information? I know he was real short with her, like, whatever you selling, I ain't buying, when she sat down. Because she has never been really nice to him, I guess, right? But yeah, she kind of like tried to punk him into giving him information. He was like, no, I ain't giving you nothing. Snitches end up in ditches. So no. And he got up out of there. Well, she runs out and he was gone. She didn't see him. I saw him. He was in the truck around the corner getting in, but she didn't see that. Kyle heads over to this house that was outside of Roswell. It was his dad's hunting cabin. And the key, though, didn't work to the door. Then up behind him is Alex. Like, where the fuck did you come from? He's like, so all you gotta do is knock on the door. Liz rushed over to the Alien Emporium where apparently Greg likes to hang out or what have you, and finds that the doors are locked. Noah walks up. Noah's just appearing out of nowhere this episode. Walks up and tell her, he a nerd too. And everything that Greg had, he got in the storage room. Slip him a 20 and he'll give you a tour, right? Well, back it over to Kyle and Alex. Apparently, Kyle's dad left Alex the house. Now, Alex was gone off the war. And this was before his dad died. He decided to deed him the house. And I'm like, Kyle, why the fuck would my daddy be leaving you a house? So now my new theory is he Kyle daddy. Or he Alex's daddy. That's what makes sense to me. Why would you leave this man a house but not your wife or your own son? You left it to this man. He left him a house. And then they didn't know he left them the house. It was shocking news to them. It's 10 years later. All these secrets being uncovered. Well, Kyle, he shows Alex the key. And Alex said, yeah, that keychain look familiar, but that key is too small to go in his house. So he asked him, can he snoop around for a minute and see what he'll find? And Alex was like, fine, come on in, okay? So Michael and Max, they running down the road, heading over to where they heard Isabel's truck had been found. Her car had been found. When we opened up the episode and she woke up on that road, all bewildered, there was no car around. There was no vehicle around at all. But they found her car out there. Keys were still in it. It didn't look like it was any evidence of foul play. But of course, she ain't nowhere to be seen. And Max says that he think that the fear of losing somebody close to her, first him to, what's that girl named Liz, and then Michael possibly going to jail or what have you, that I was honest, I was going to say Rosa, because I remember Rosa saying in one of the dreams, we used to be friends, something like that. But the fear of losing people is triggering a traumatic response from her. And that's probably what's going on. She's getting these blackouts and everything. Same way it happened in high school, like before Rosa's death or whatever. And for Max say, then Michael say, well, maybe we need to tell her the truth. Finally tell her the truth. Max say out of the question. Out of the damn question. And I'm like, okay, so what's really the doggone truth? Now, when Michael said last week that he killed those girls, I didn't believe him. That's why I was like, what you do, Michael? What you do? Because I didn't believe it. It just didn't seem like it was adding up to me. Why would he kill these particular girls? Like I said, they always trying to put him off as being the aggressive one, but I just didn't believe it. Well, anyway, Alex come back to the crib and Kyle still sitting there playing with his old fishing pole, and he ain't found nothing. He said he got distracted. And then they go back down memory lane for a moment about the friendship that they used to have growing up. And it was a kind of rocky ending to their friendship. Well, Kyle stated started to move the table, or he tried to pull the drawer out the table, or what have you, and noticed the hidden door underneath the table. Well, they moved the table out the way, and it's long stairs going down. And Alex like, I ain't going down there. I watch horror movies. I'm not finna go down up in there. Well, they of course they went down in there. Well, anyway, Max was able to link to Isabel, and they found her out there in the desert. She was passed out again, or just laid on the ground because she sat up real perk as soon as they came up. I'm over here, whatever. Anyway, Kyle and Alex, they go down in the dungeon, and they find a neatly kept bedroom. The lights still worked. Kyle been living in this house since he came back from war and didn't know there was this bedroom down there. Rosa been dead for 10 years, and these light bulbs still work. I can't keep light bulbs on in my doggone house for a year, a month, a couple months. But these light bulbs in this basement still work. Ain't no cobwebs hanging down there. Nothing. So maybe Rosa, because it appears this is her spot. Maybe she had been going down there all night, but she been dead 10 damn years. Anyway, Alex tells Kyle, I don't believe your daddy was sleeping with her. Your daddy's the type of person that tries to help people. They found some detoxing stuff in the closet, some IV bags or what have you. And so Alex is like, okay, maybe he was just trying to save her. Maybe he was trying to keep her down here until she got better, till she healed. Liz go out to the storage place, and she couldn't find Greg. Didn't wait long. She busted into the window, and there's a radio that pops on. He comes out and pulls out a fake gun on her. We didn't know it was fake at first, but we learned that the gun that Greg had was fake. Liz like, you know what? I know about the tape. I know about the video you had. You got to show me. I'm here. I believe everything you're saying. Okay. And they come to the conclusion that he still has these tapes of this documentary that he was creating. Like two men in black showed up, paid him some money to keep quiet and to spread propaganda over the airways, but he didn't give them the real tape. Of course he didn't. Well, Isabel, on the other hand, says that she ain't traumatized. I don't know what the heck Max talking about. She just exhausted for trying to get into Liz's head again. She thought this time would be easy. And he like, wait a minute, this time. What you mean this time? She tried to cover her tracks, but he knew that she meant this time. Michael was like, no, she talking about, she tried it at the drive-in before. Nah, bro, You mean to tell me that you got to her head before and she's the reason, you're the reason why she left town? I loved her. I thought that she abandoned me and just didn't tell me goodbye. I really loved her. Kyle opened up a chest that he see down in the room and find old photos of his dad holding a baby. And the baby had a little blanket wrapped around him with the same rose that Rose had drew. And he said, I know my dad's hands. Oh my God, my daddy wasn't having an affair with her. My daddy is her daddy. And I'm like, and your daddy is Alex's daddy too. How many Valentes running around Roswell? Because they say, you said your daddy was promiscuous. Is everybody? And Liz and Rosa look too much alike for them not to have the same daddy. They can look just like their mama, but you know what I'm saying? Anyway, out with Greg and Liz. Like I said, she gets the tape, she gets to see, and she see Rose and the other two chicks floating around in a little bubble of energy. And Greg telling them, I was paid, to keep quiet, and spread that fake news. Because like I said, snitches end up in ditches, right? So then somebody yells, you should have kept your mouth quiet. You shouldn't have said nothing. And start firing away at them. Now, Liz said that there was bars on the window, so they had an opportunity to get out and to escape. But the person was still shooting through the window. I'm like, who the fuck is shooting? Like, Well, Max is all, she didn't abandon you. She didn't abandon me. You drove her away. I just do not get his deep-seated affection for this girl. I guess, what we see as their memories right now, Isabel must have wiped away or whatever. I don't know. Oh, excuse me, y'all. But I don't get his deep-seated affection. I don't get his deep-seated aggression. Why he's so overly aggressive. When she walked away, I couldn't even get out of bed. I ain't been happy. I ain't never been happy since she been gone 10 years of my life. You psycho, Max. Something ain't right. Some screws loose up in your noggin, boy. I don't like him. I despise Max, the character. Oh, goodness. Well, I'll be damned. The shooter is Wyatt. I forgot all about Wyatt. I thought Wyatt had went run and tucked tail somewhere after he got in the alleyway by Michael. You know, he didn't get his mind wiped away. He didn't get mind melded at that time. So if he got mind melded, you think that he wouldn't remember that all this other shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. That don't make sense to me either. We got 13 episodes of this, y'all. We only on episode 5. I'm hoping I can make it to the rest because they have, like I said, they have really just like put me off on this doggone show. But anyway, Liz wake up in a box. I love a wooden box, and Wyatt is pouring gasoline all in the box on her. And I'm screaming, light it, light it, light it. If I'm screaming light it like that for the main characters, you know I don't really like these characters, but he lit it, y'all. Wyatt lit that shit up. And that was the best part of the episode. Her trying to get out that box. She got out too quick for me. She kicked out the side. Wyatt wasn't nowhere around. She starts to run out of the box and kaboom, everything explodes. And I'm thinking, he just doused your ass in gasoline. And you didn't even come out with a flame on your sleeve. A piece of hers wouldn't, set ablaze. You didn't have them MJ and the Pepsi commercial going on. He just soaked you in gasoline, and then when you're wearing out, you was dry. I know gasoline evaporates when it hits the air, but you ain't gonna be that dry that quick, girl. But no. Well, like I said, when she bust out, Wyatt's truck explodes, and she runs into the arm of Max. They was like, okay, we got to get out of here. Who else here? She said Greg is here. They went to go find Greg. Greg's standing up, leaning up against some boxes, dead. One shot to the dome. Okay. I don't know when that shot went off because we didn't hear that. We did hear Wyatt shoot 6 bullets, I guess one of those 6 shots was Greg because Greg had ran somewhere else, whatever. Anyway, he come in, Wyatt rushed back in, he's shooting. Max shooting because Max got Michael's gun. So both of them shooting at each other and they both get hit. Max got hit in the chest. Liz putting her hand on his chest, just holding it there, trying to make sure he don't bleed out right there. Then ambulance and the police show up. I mean, they got some quick first responders in Roswell. They both show up. The ambulance rush over and pull Liz out the way, but they don't really touch Max at all. They just pull Liz out the way, and the 2 officers cart Wyatt away. Well, next we see Liz running into Max's house. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Did I miss something? I tried to rewind on demand or whatever, but I couldn't rewind because I was actually watching it live. So I just didn't. What happened? Well, she went over to the hospital and he done checked himself out. You got shot dead center of your heart and you get up and you walk out of the hospital. Nobody finds that strange. Well, of course, he done performed surgery on himself and then removed the bullet himself. Noah pulls up to Michael's and confronts Isabel. Like, what's going on with you, girl? You know what I'm saying? She's like, I can explain. He said, really? Well, explain this. He dumped out all these bottles, empty bottles of acetone. You've been hiding them all over the house. I remember my daddy was a drunk. He used to hide liquor in shampoo bottles all over the house. But why is she hiding these empty acetone bottles? Wasn't no liquor in them. Wasn't no liquids in them. You could probably clearly smell there was acetone if you took a sniff test. And she got empty. Matter of fact, acetone ain't nothing but nail polish remover. She most likely wear nail polish. Why would you need to hide acetone anyway? You could have said you was couponing. That's why you had so many bottles. That's what you could have said, But no, she just says, I can't tell you. Now, why is it that Max can tell Liz about their true identity, but we can't tell nobody nothing? Michael, like, maybe we should tell the truth to the people we love. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should. Why not? Max did it. Max did it. He cussing y'all out 3 ways to Sunday about Liz. But you can't tell the person you've been married to all this time or who you are. Because why? Because Max said so. Okay, anyway. Oh, child. Well, Noah say he can't do this. I can't be in this type of relationship with you. He takes her bag and gives it to her. Say, hey, I need some time. I need some time. She went into this horrible cry. It wasn't horrible because she was feeling so much pain. It was horrible because the girl can't act. But anyway, Kyle gets the bright idea. Oh, what the heck I say? Oh, Kyle was breaking down. You know, he shaking and trembling. He found his daddy flask and everything. He's upset. Of course you would be. Found out your daddy ain't the hero that you thought he was. Anyway, back at the hunting house, Alex gets the bright idea to go back into the room. And he flips on the light shade and notices the little star and sun that was on the moon and sun that was on his keychain, and he notices it on the lamp. I noticed it too when they first went down there. Flipped it on, and then it highlighted on the wall. I don't know why. What gave him the inclination to do so? But he decides to bust open the wall right in that spot. He busts open the wall, and what shall he find? An alien artifact. It lights all up, and you know what I'm saying? Did all that. And when it happened, I don't know why Michael and them didn't feel it. They should have felt it, but they didn't. And that's the end of the episode, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all thought. You know, am I just too soured against this, or y'all think this is still great TV? I mean, I like discussing it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem discussing it. But yeah, now Valenti is Rosa's daddy. And like I said, I'm gonna guess that he's Alex's daddy too. That's why he gave him that house. I'm gonna throw that out there as a guess. And we learn that Isabel is the one who killed Rosa and the girls, and they've been covering it up all this time. When she have her blackout spells, like apparently she harms people. She noticed that the handprint, Liz noticed the handprint on Rosa's picture wasn't Michael's. It was too big. You know, I mean, too small. So she, you know, and wasn't Max's because it was too. You know, his hand was too big, and it couldn't have been Michael's because Michael's arm was broken or his hand was broken back in that moment. So it had to be Isabel. It had to be Isabel. And Max turns and says, "Yes, it was Isabel. You ain't gonna continue to lie. You ain't gonna keep the lie. You've been lying all this time. Now you just felt the need to say, yep, Isabel killed your sister. Isabel just killed your sister." But Isabel can't tell Noah who she really is. She still got to keep all these secrets, but Max out here just putting it all out there in the atmosphere. All right, y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.